You're asked to graph the function h of x is equal to 2x squared plus 4x plus 1. You can use any method. That you learned from 8.1 through 8.4. And then I need minimum 3 points, if possible 5 points. Okay, so we have to graph. Can someone tell me which method you like to do in this problem?
Find the vertex first.
Okay, very good. So we are going to find the vertex first. Okay, to find the vertex, somebody else tell me, if you want to do the vertex form, like a vertex way and move on with the graphing, how would you start the problem? Anyone? Hello? Kalyan.
Yeah. Wait, for the factoring, for 2x squared plus 4x plus 1, I didn't get, what was the factors of 2 and of 2 that add up to 4? Ms. Mohandas?
Ms. Mohandas? Did she like leave? Hello?
Okay, can you hear me now?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, I think I mute myself. Okay. Yeah, it's okay. So, Kalyan, answering to your question. Kalyan?
Yeah, I asked you something.
Yeah, so then the factoring, you won't necessarily get whole number factors every time. So this is a problem where you're actually not getting whole numbers as a factors. You probably get fractions. But then, yeah, that's why you're not able to factor. So also thinking about that, then actually it's a good idea that if you go with what Joel said, let's do the vertex and go from there. Okay, so Matthew, can you tell me how do you find the vertex? If it is, oh, by the way, which form is this? Which form is
Standard
this?
form?
Standard form. If you have an equation in the standard form, how do you find the vertex? How would you start finding the vertex?
Negative b over 2a to find the x coordinate.
Correct. You can first find the x coordinate of the vertex by negative b divided by 2a. Okay, I want you guys to memorize all these. Negative b. What is negative b in this problem?
-4.
Divided by 2 times. What is a?
2.
Correct. So the x coordinate of the vertex is just -1. So you put the -1 there. Okay. Now, how do you find the y coordinate of the vertex?
You plug it back in.
Plug it back in. So y is equal to h of x, which is 2 times -1 squared plus 4 times -1 plus 1, which is
-1.
correct. So you got the vertex. Is that enough for finishing up the graph?
No.
No,
No.
right? Now remember, every time you find the vertex, you're actually getting one more thing from there, which is the
Axis of symmetry.
symmetry. So axis of symmetry is x is equal to -1. So we got the vertex with that, we also got the axis of symmetry. Now there is another point that you can easily find. What is that? You just have to look at the equation.
Y-intercept.
Correct.
Oh.
So the y-intercept is the constant. So 0, 1. At this time, I want you guys to start graphing because we can reflect the y-intercept and get the third point. Okay. So if you were to graph now, that's the vertex. That's the axis of symmetry. Y-intercept. If this is the y-intercept, right here, how would I reflect, or where would I get the point if I reflect this across the axis of symmetry?
-1.
Correct, it's right there. -2, 1. Now, if I want 2 more extra points, you can create a table of values and then find. So pick another point.
3. Wait, no. -3?
Yeah, you can put -3 or you can use 1, right? Can't you use 1?
Yeah.
You can put 1 or -3, whatever you want, okay? So if you put 1, you're going to get 2 times 1 plus 4, which is 6 plus 1. So the y coordinate of that is?
7.
That's correct. So 1 corresponds to, if I say that's my 7, 1 corresponds to 7. Now you can reflect this point across the axis of symmetry to get the other point. So the other point is going to be, this is from here to here, it's 1, 2, yeah. So how many times do I have to move? What would be the reflected point of that?
-1, 7.
No, we are going to reflect across this line, right, Ritika?
Oh,
This. So what is the distance between here to here?
2.
So you have to go 2 to the other side, right?
Oh, -2, 7.
-3, 7.
3, 7, because you have to go 2 to the other side. So when you go 1, you will get here, but you have to go 1 more, so you will end up at -7.
Oh, right. 3.
So yeah. When you reflect, you have to go exactly the same distance on the opposite side.
Oh.
Okay. Now this is more than enough. 5 points is what I'm looking for on the graph. So then here we go. Do you understand?
Yeah.
Okay. So because this is in the standard form, this seems like an easier way to graph it. You can start with the vertex. You find the x coordinate, then the y coordinate, then the y coordinate, plot it, axis of symmetry, y-intercept, flip it, an extra point, flip it. So 5 points altogether. Okay?
Yeah.
Okay. One more reminder about the homework. Every time you do the homework, make sure that you correct, because one of my files that I'm uploaded to the Google School Loop has answers in it. Okay, no matter what the situation is, you guys need all these for the upcoming years, even if you don't come back, right? Probably you'll end up with a good grade depending upon like and how we are going to decide all those. But you will get caught at some point when you get back to all these in algebra too. So be honest in all your homework and everything. All right. So remember we started 8.5 and we left it halfway. So this is where we are. Correct?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to start off from there for today. You may want to look at the previous two examples. How do you find zeros? To find the zeros, you set the function equal to 0 and solve for x. Make sense? To
Yeah.
find the
Yeah.
you set the equation equal to 0 and solve for x. Okay, let's see this. Okay, so g of x in this problem is x minus 2 parentheses x squared minus 25 is equal to 0. Okay, this look like the zero product property. But before that, look at this x squared minus 25. We can factor it further. X squared minus 25, does it look like any special product, anyone?
It can become x minus 5 and x plus 5.
Good job, Jasmine. That's the difference of two squares. Very good. So this is going to be x minus 2. This is in the form a squared minus b squared, difference of two squares. So that's going to be x minus 5 and x plus 5 equal to 0. Now we are going to use a zero product property, which means take each of the factors set that equal to 0. You take each of the three factors, set that equal to 0, and you will get the answer. So x is equal to, what do you get from the first equation? X minus 2 is equal to 0. X is equal to
Positive 2.
2. And from the second one, you have x is equal to
5.
And the third one, you have x is equal to
Negative 5.
Okay, so we have 3 zeros. Okay. Why don't you guys try the D by yourself? Okay. To find the zeros, you set the kfx equal to 0 and solve for x. You can factor first and then use a zero product property. All right, finish it up. you guys done?
Yeah.
Okay, so you have x squared plus 3x minus 4 is equal to 0. Since that doesn't look like the factors, we're going to factor it first. So the factors are x. What are the factors? What are the factors?
-1 and 4.
Correct. X minus 1 times x plus 4 is equal to 0. You just have to use the x method. You don't need the box after this because the leading coefficient is just 1. And then you minus 1 is equal to 0.
Where's the -1 from?
Where did I get the -1 from?
Yeah.
Remember when factoring you use the x,
Yeah.
the -4 goes here and +3 goes here?
Oh, right. My bad.
Yeah, and then you think about two numbers that add up to 3 but multiply to -4. So one of the numbers has to be negative, and that is -1. Otherwise, you won't get a +3.
Oh.
Okay?
Right.
All right.
Yeah.
So you get x is equal to 1 from the first one, and x is equal to -4 from the second one. So there are two zeros, 1 and -4.
Wait, Miss Mohandas, how do you know when you don't need the box?
Oh, yeah, very good. Jasmine, you know that you do not need the box when that leading coefficient is 1.
Okay.
Okay, good question. So when that leading coefficient is 1, you do not need box, you only need x. You get the answer from the x itself. Get it?
Yeah.
All right. Now, so zeros, is that clear? How to find the zeros of a function?
Yeah.
All right, good job. Okay, now there is a different type of problem. In example 3, I want you guys to read it carefully. Read it carefully. Tell me what is given to you, what you need to be found. And give me a second, I'll be back. Okay, so the question is, this is just the opposite of what we have been doing in the other problems. You don't have the equation. You're asked to write a quadratic equation. Just see, write a quadratic equation. They want it in the standard form. If the equation has these x-intercepts and y-intercept, okay? So question mark is this. You have to come up with a quadratic equation. We want it in the standard form that satisfies these conditions. Okay. Now, I want you guys to flip through your lecture notes and then tell me, since we know standard form, vertex form, and intercepts form, which method or which form will be easier in this problem?
Intercept.
Intercepts form, because we know the intercepts. So when the intercepts are given to you, you would always pick the intercept form. Now, who can tell me what is the intercept form?
F of x equals a x minus p x minus q.
Correct. A parentheses x minus p times x minus q. Now, somebody else tell me what is p and q in this problem. Anyone?
The x
1 and
intercepts.
-5.
1 and -1 and 5. P is -1 and q is 5.
Oh, I meant it like x minus. I meant it like x plus 1
Yeah.
and x minus 5.
All right.
That's what I meant.
Yeah. So let's put it back to these things, okay? A parentheses, your P is -1 and the Q is 5. So when you plug these back into the equation, you have x minus -1 and x minus 5, which is A parentheses, this -1 and negative becomes a +1 and x minus 5. Are we done with the problem?
No.
No. What else do we need to find?
A.
Correct. This little a right here is still missing. Did we use everything that's given to us?
No.
No.
No. So there is something here which we need to use. So let's do that to get the a, okay? So it's going to be now plug in or substitute 0,3 into the equation. So this is your x, this is actually your y. So the f of replaced by 3 because that's your y coordinate. A parentheses 0 plus 1, x is replaced by 0, f of x is replaced by y because f of x is always your y. Okay, so 3 is equal to a times -5.
So
you're-
A would be
so
3 over -5.
correct, or -3 or 5. That's your a. So we did not know what a is. So we used the extra thing that's given in the problem, and now you have the a. So therefore, going back to the question, we are asked to find the quadratic function. So that they can say that the function is y is equal to -3 over 5 parentheses x plus 1 times x minus 5. Can we box this as the
No.
no? Why? What is the last thing we need to do? Which form do we need to see at the very end?
The
Standard form.
Standard form. This is the intercept form. We need to convert this intercept form into standard form. So that's going to be very easy. Just watch. Just expand this. When you expand this, you get x times x is x squared, x times minus 5x minus 5x, 1 time x is x, positive 1 times -5 is -5. We need to do a little bit of simplification. -3 over 5 x squared minus 4x minus 5. One more step, because we don't want to see the -3 over 5 sitting outside, so you have to do that as well. Because you want to see it as ax squared plus bx plus c. We don't have anything sitting outside. So simply take the -3 over 5 into each of the terms. And that's our answer. Okay, can you guys go over the example one more time, see if you understood every step? Okay, can we move on to the next one?
Yeah.
Okay, next problem is question B, okay? Direction is the same, but the conditions are different. The vertex is -3, -2. It also passes through this point. So we are going to talk about, we're going to come up with a quadratic function in standard form, but this time instead of the intercepts, they gave you vertex and just another point on the function. Good? Okay, let's try. Since we have the vertex here, which form would you guys pick?
Vertex form.
Vertex form. Someone tell me what is the vertex form of a quadratic function?
Ax minus h squared.
Correct. A parentheses x minus h quantity square plus k. Correct? Okay. Since the vertex is -3, -2, this is our h, this is our k. Substitute into the function. So you have y is equal to a parentheses x minus minus 3 squared minus 2 because k is -2, which is a parentheses x plus 3 quantity square plus 2. Oh, sorry, not plus 2, minus 2. All right. Are we done? Are we done?
No.
Like the previous problem, our A is still sitting there creating problem. And that is why this extra point is given to you. So we are going to plug that point in. So this is your x, this is your y. I'm going to substitute the y by -4. And we are trying to find A, and x by 1. So it's 1 plus 3 quantity square. Okay. So what is A?
-2 cent.
So first you're going to take the 2 to the other side, right? So that's going to be -2 divided by 16, which is -1/8. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. A is equal to -1/8. Are we done?
No, you have to expand it.
Correct. I'm going to do the rest of the problem here. So therefore, our function is, now your A is -1/8. So it looks like this. But there is one more step we need to do because we want it in the standard form. So let's expand this. Okay, x plus 3 quantity square is one of the special products. Tell me, how do you expand? What's the formula for a plus b quantity square? A plus b quantity square, anyone?
A squared plus 2ab plus b squared.
Very good. So we are going to use this special product formula into this equation. Your A is 3, A is x and B is 3. So this is going to be x squared plus 2 times x times 3 plus 3 square minus 2, which is -1/8. X squared plus 6x plus 9 minus 2, which is -1/8 x squared plus 6x plus 7. It's not that, I'm sorry. Okay, first we have to expand this. Take the negative 1/8 into the function. And then subtract the 2. Because the 2 is outside the parentheses. So we have to take the negative 1/8 to everything, and then only we can do. So that's going to be negative 1/8 x squared minus, you can simplify this, so that's going to be 3/4x. What is negative 9/8 minus 2?
Negative 3 and 1/8, I think.
That's going to be 16.
Oh.
So that's negative 25/8, correct?
Yeah, that is negative 3 and 1/8.
Okay. So that's the function. Okay, I want you guys to go over that one more time. It takes many steps to get to the final answer. Okay, listen. I'll go through the steps one more time. Since we have the vertex, we are going to use the vertex form. Substitute h and k into the problem. But there is an a left, which is not defined, which is not yet found. We are going to use the extra point that's given to you in the problem, substitute for x and y, and we found a. And coming back here, we substituted the a back into the equation. But we need to put that in the standard form, so we are going to expand this first using the special product formula, which is a plus b quantity square. We expanded it, distributed the negative, combined the like terms, and we got the answer, negative 1/8 squared. That's the final answer. Are we good?
Yeah.
We'll do one more example and then we'll stop here. We'll do example 5 Wednesday. Okay, let's do one more example, example 4. See, you learned a lot of things today, guys. Like, make sure that you go over this again. Okay. Next question is, this is again a totally different question. You have to, they are given, this is not quadratic. Do you guys see that this is not a quadratic equation?
Mm,
What is the degree of this polynomial?
3.
3. So this is not quadratic. We call it cubic polynomial. Cubic polynomial, because the degree is 3. You're asked to find the zeros and graph it. So first you have to find the zeros and then you have to graph it. You know how to find the zeros of a function. How do you find zeros of a function?
By making it equal to 0.
Equal 0.
Correct. You're going to set f of x is equal to 0 and then solve for x, correct? Okay, can you guys tell me, I need space, I'm going to do it here. So tell me the function f of x is equal to what? X cubed?
Negative x cubed.
Or was it negative? Oh yeah, negative x cubed. Yeah, go ahead, Jasmine.
Plus 4x squared minus 3x.
We're going to set this. Before you solve it, I want you guys to factor this. Factor it. When you factor it, the first question is there any GCF?
X.
Since the beginning term is negative, I'm actually going to take negative x outside, because anytime you start off a polynomial by a negative sign, you always take that out. That's a good strategy to take it out. You don't have to, but it makes it a little simpler. Okay, when you take the negative x out, which means you're going to divide everything by negative x. So what is the first term?
X squared.
Correct. What's the second term?
X.
Minus 4x, because we are dividing by negative x. A positive and negative gives a negative.
Plus
Now
3.
you plus 3. Good job. Is equal to 0. You have to keep factoring. Now you have a quadratic here. You guys know how to factor. You just need the x method. You don't need the box because the leading coefficient is 1. Okay, what are the factors?
Negative. Oh wait, no, nothing yet.
-3 and -1.
Yeah, I think Jasmine, you were right. So
Yeah.
x and x minus 1 is equal to 0 because they both add up to -4. And when you multiply -3 and -1, you get positive 3. Now we are ready to use the zero product property. You take negative x is equal to 0. You take x minus 3 is equal to 0. And you take x minus 1 is equal to 0. This is called zero product property. So you're going to divide sides by -1. So this is x is equal to 0. X is equal to 3. And x is equal to 1. So those are the zeros. If you check the question, let's go back and check the question. You are asked to use the zeros. We actually got the zeros, check. Now we need to graph. Okay, let's graph it. You're going to graph all the zeros first. What are the zeros again? 0. And then what are 3
and 1.
and 1. Okay. They're kind of close together. Okay, just watch this. Now with just these 3 dots, how are we going to graph it? Do you think these 3 dots are enough to graph it? No, like how do you graph? Do we just connect the line? Definitely not. This is not a line because our function is not linear. So this is not real. I want you guys to make a small table of values because these 3 points are not at all enough to graph the function. Okay, so this is how you guys make or create the table of values. You need to know what's happening here. We don't know, is it starting here or is it starting here or what's happening to the left of 0? So I'm just going to take -1 as my first extra point. Find the y value when x is equal to -1. You're going to plug it in here. You're going to plug it in here. Plug it in here and tell me what is the y value. So that looks like okay, go ahead. You guys find the y value. Okay, anyone? What did you guys get? I got 8. Did you guys get 8?
Yes.
Did everyone get?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, now I know that -1 corresponds to 8. Let's say that's our 8, okay? So now we know that it's actually above the x-axis, not below. It could also come from here. It could have come from here and get there. It could have come from here and get there. But we didn't know. That is why we picked -1. Now we know that it's actually above the x-axis, okay? So we can connect from here. So I would say here, okay, all right. Now the next point is, do you know what's happening in between these two? Do you think it's gonna come down or it's gonna go up? No idea, right? Okay, so in your calculator, just to have a better idea, this is 0 and this is 1, so you have to take a fraction. Use your calculator and tell me what is the y value, because we are confused about which portion should we go. We don't know if it is down or up. When you substitute, let me also check. Because it's a fraction, I'll let you guys use a calculator, okay? Go ahead. Did you guys get -0.6? Anyone out there get this? Bless you.
Thank you.
No one got negative. Hello. What did you guys get? Maybe I made a mistake.
So Hondas,
Yeah.
people are saying it's like glitching and stuff.
Yeah, I know. I did see that, but I'm not sure why it's happening though. Okay, so just write down, I think it's -0.6. Joel, did you get this?
Sorry, what?
Did you get -0.6?
Oh, I didn't do that.
So are you guys waiting for me to do the problem? Okay, just write -0.6. So now we know that it is actually going down a little bit, but it has to come back because it has to come back. Okay, now I want another extra point. Another extra point, and I'm going to take that as 2 because I want to know what's happening here. Okay, so tell me what is the value of y when x is equal to 2. So that's going to be -8 plus 16 minus 6. And when x is equal to 2, your y value is
2. Wait, hold on.
That's
I'm not sure. Oh, really? Okay.
No, I got 2 also. Okay. That means when x is equal to 1, it goes up. So now we know that it's going to come down, get back to 0. Sorry, get back to this. What? No. And then it goes up all the way up to here. It has to come back because, and then we are just going to say it's like this. So that's how you graph a cubic function. Okay, not sure why I'm having this problem. Calculus did not have this issue. So this is after our class started, I'm having this issue. So hopefully it won't be a problem next time. Okay, do you understand?
Yeah.
Okay, so you're going to use the zeros and then plot the zeros and then find some extra points based on because however you want to get a better idea about the graph, whether it has to go up or down, you pick the extra values. Okay, I think that should be enough for today because there was a lot of new things going on. And I will put up a homework for today. So please check School Loop maybe after an hour.
Okay.
And then last week's homework, 3 of them is due. 3 of those homeworks are due this Wednesday in Google Classroom, okay?
Okay.
Okay.
Right, yeah. So you take care until then. I'll meet you guys next, no. Yeah, which is Wednesday, 11:45. Maybe a little late because the calculus people were not out by 11:40. So hang in there. You can join in, but then it will be a little here and there late. All right, bye. Goodbye. Take care, everyone.
Bye.
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 Bye.